Good morning, YouTube. It is September 22nd, 2019, and this is your morning story. Something different today. So, yesterday I was in Miss Canadian Scrapper's room just for a little while because Rick and I worked like dogs yesterday. Ow, and we were tired. I went to bed like a full hour earlier than I normally do. Because I was just like, I'm like in Miss Canadian Scrapper's room and I'm like looking at the screen and I'm like drooling. I'm just like, but yeah. But in the room last night, we were talking about different things and I had mentioned that I had worked in TV. And I thought I'd tell you guys the story behind that. When I went into college, I went to Milwaukee Area Technical College. And I took a program called telecasting. And telecasting was a closed degree, meaning the students that were telecasting students were the only people in the classes that we were taking. There was no accountant students or, auto mechanic or anything like that in the class. It was just telecasting students. And in the summer, you had the opportunity to, if you wanted to try out to become an intern, which I did, and it was a paid internship, which was pretty cool. And we got to work on a whole bunch of different things. We got to work on lighting, camera operation, technical direction, floor direction, audio, editing, makeup, you name it. We got to do it, and it was very interesting and a very rewarding experience for me. I got to work with lots of different stars, got to go out on mobile shoots as well as in studio shoots. For the most part, I did technical directing, but I also did some camera operation and floor directing, and it was really, really fun. And it although I never used my degree, it's an interesting story. I went for 2 job interviews in one day. One was at a local TV station. One was at the job that I ended up working at for 20 years. And I went with that job because it was full-time and it offered insurance. If the TV job would have been full-time and offered insurance, I would have taken it. So it's weird that my need for insurance took me on a completely different path than what I expected my life to be like. But I got to work at Channel 10 and 36 for 2 years, actually 2.5 years. The internship was supposed to be for the summer, but they kept me on, and I stayed on for 2.5 years until I got the job with Envirotest. And it was really, it was a really rewarding, amazing experience, and I'm glad that I did it. But that industry is crazy. It's crazy. I mean, if you're lucky enough to get hired for a nationally syndicated TV show, that's awesome. But that happens very rarely. And there are hundreds and hundreds of people just in the southeastern Wisconsin who are all going for the same jobs. So the pay is very low, the hours are very long, and if you want to make any money in the business, you have to freelance, and that makes your hours crazy. You do not have a set schedule. You're at the mercy of the jobs that come to you. It was just a little bit too much unknown for me. I wanted to have a steady income. I wanted to get married and actually have time for my husband. So I decided to go a different direction. But I'm really glad that I had that experience. I made a lot of amazing friends when I did that. Friends that I'm still friends with today. But it was cool. It was cool. So I know the inner workings of how TV shows work, and even though the technology has become better, it's amazing that the same basic elements that build a television show still exist and are still valid. But yeah, it was a lot of fun. It was. And the thing you get to know about TV stars is some of them are really, really awesome, down to earth, amazing people, and some of them are royal pains in the asses, because there's a lot of stars that are narcissistic. And I mean, being a star, that that business, if you're not a narcissist before you get into that business, you're going to be one by the time you get out, because it's the nature of the beast. You know, it kind of turns you that way. You have to be very, very center focused, and you have to have a lot of confidence. And there's a lot of people who can do all that without becoming narcissists, but there's a lot of people who just fall into the trap. And I got to meet both. Yeah, there are some real not so nice people out there.
Like me.
Mr. Hug, you are not a not nice person. You are a nice person. Batman's pointing at you. He stopped now. So it's a rainy day here in Milwaukee. It's raining. It's wet and kind of nasty. And really, I mean, it's weird, you know, when it's humid, when it's hot, you just feel hot and sticky and blah. When it's cooler and it's humid, or cold and humid, it just makes you feel really, really cold. And I'm feeling kind of cold today. Maybe I shouldn't have the air conditioning down to 65 degrees. How about that? Okay, there we go. So I hope you guys had a great weekend. I'm very sore. I hurt my back earlier this week, and then worked like a dog on top of a back that was kind of hurt. So my back is shot. I took every pain medication I could find in the bathroom. So right now I've got it kind of at bay, but I'm glad that I got a couple days off where I can just sort of let my back relax. I had my TENS unit on last night while I was in Miss Canadian Scrapper's room, and so I had it on for an hour, and it did help. If you have any back issues, I highly recommend that you get yourself a TENS unit. It puts electrical energy into wherever you decide to put the little electrode pads, and it really helps with pain. I've used it on my arms, my shoulders, my back, and my leg, and it's a wonderful piece of equipment. I highly recommend it. But anyways, that's all I wanted to talk about today, guys. I love you guys. I hope you have a great weekend. Say goodbye, Mr. Hug.
Bye.
Take care, everybody. Mwah. Bye-bye.